everyone. We're gonna do Pilates pop-up today. Hope everybody's doing well. All you need is a mat and your body, and that's it. So, well, also, if you wanna grab a towel for your head, that's always a good idea. Use that for a head, or you can put it underneath your hips to prop you up from the floor when we go into some hip work or seated work. All right, so go ahead and hop on your mat. We're gonna go ahead and lay down on our back. With our knees bent and our feet flat. Arms are gonna be lengthened down by your side, head is in line with your spine, and we're gonna just start with a little gentle movement of the head. We're gonna start with lifting the chin towards the ceiling, and then lowering our chin towards the chest. One more time, slowly bringing the chin up, and then sliding the chin down. And then a little side to side movement with the head, so looking to the left and then towards the right. Coming back to center and drawing circles clockwise with your nose. So going around the clock. And reversing it. And holding. Back to neutral. All right, we're going to take our arms, turn the palms towards you, thumbs pointing up towards the ceiling, and then very slowly start to reach your arms up towards the ceiling and all the way overhead. And back down. And a few more. Move with your breath, so start with that nice inhale, and then lengthen the arms back down with an exhale. And let's do one more. We're reaching up and lowering down. Turning your palms down towards the floor, and then let's widen the collarbone. So very gently, go ahead and press your shoulders into the mat, widening the collarbones and holding that position for 2 to 3 seconds, and then release. Keep that going. Good. Just want to fix my camera. Make sure you guys can see me. So again, we're just widening the collarbones, feeling the scapulas flat on the mat, which are your shoulder blades. And we're going to do one more. Good. And then from here, let's see if you can lift your sternum to the ceiling. So you're going to draw the shoulder blades or the collarbones apart, and then sternum lifts towards the ceiling, and then release. And we'll do 4 more. So widen your collarbones, lift your sternum, and release. 3 more. Widen your collarbones, lift your sternum, release. 2 more. Open the chest, open the upper back, and 1 more. Good. Good. From here, we're going to bring those heels a little closer to our sitting bones. And we're going to start with some gentle tilting of the pelvis. So we're going to start to move the pubic bone towards the belly button, and then move the pubic bone towards the heels. So we're just rocking back and forth without using a lot of muscles here, but making sure that we can feel the bones of our sacrum, which is the back of the pelvis, rocking back and forth towards the heels. When you're arching your back, and then towards the pubic bone goes towards the belly button, and you're flattening your back. Begins to loosen the low back, and then we're going to gently rock the pelvis towards your navel. Press evenly down into both feet and start to lift the hips into a bridge. Soften everything all the way back down, lengthening the spine back to neutral. And let's do 4 more. Tilt the pelvis, peel off the mat, weight even through the heels, and then soften the sternum, the rib cage, the low back, and then back to the tailbone. Good. 2 more times. Lift it up. Keep the chest open. Keep the ribs directly over the hips. And we'll do this 1 more time. Just articulating up 1 vertebrae at a time. Noticing if you have any sticky spots. Try to work through those. Good. And then back to neutral. Taking our left knee out to the side, keeping our right leg planted, and our pelvis neutral. So we're not allowing our hips to move as the knee goes out to the side, and then drawing that knee back in, and then taking the right knee out to the side, and drawing that back in. So we're really trying to keep the pelvis from rocking. So pulling our abdominals in and up, working on that pelvic stability, torso stability, and getting some disassociation from the hip and the pelvis here. We're going to do 2 more. And again, you could also put your hands on your hip points as you're doing this to make sure that you aren't rocking. Kind of helps get some feedback. Good. 1 more set. Hopefully you're using your breath to facilitate this movement. That always helps. And then holding here. All right, lengthen the arms alongside the body and start with a march. So very slowly lift your right foot into tabletop, lower it down, and then the left. And we're just going to get this going. Again, working on pelvic stability, torso stability. Start marching without any movement through the pelvis, through the torso. And then leave the right leg up in tabletop, and then the left leg comes up. All right, legs together, flex the feet, open the knees wide, and then close the knees. Good. We got 4 more. 4, 3, 2, last one, and then take the feet down to the floor. Very good. Okay, taking it into double lift and lowers with both legs. If that doesn't work, go back to singles. So we're going to take 1 leg into tabletop, the other leg into tabletop. Draw the legs together, connect the inner thighs, point your toes, and slowly tap to the floor with an inhale. Draw them up with an exhale. Notice if you're arching your back. So really try to keep your connection, your core connection in the front body and the back body as your toes tap. 4 more. 3, 2, and we'll do 1 more. Good. Grab the knees and bring them into the chest and just do a little rocking side to side. All right, arms are going to go out to a T. We're going to make this a little bit more challenging. Legs come back up into tabletop. We're going to take the knees over to the right, extend the legs out, bring the legs in, back to center. Take the legs or the knees over to the left, extend them out, back to center. And continue. Right, make sure you're lifting your pelvis but keeping your shoulders grounded into the mat. Very good. And again, rotate, lift the hip, keep the knees level, extend the legs, bring the legs in, center, rotate, reach through the feet, center, one more time. Right, reach, center, left, reach, back in, center, and draw the legs down. Extend the legs out. So we've got legs extended, arms out to a T position, grounding down through the arms. And we're going to ground down through our left foot and slowly come into tabletop with the right, drawing the right leg up straight to the ceiling. We're going to do a little footwork here, so we're going to flex, point 5 times. And then reach the foot towards the ceiling with a pointed, and then take it across the midline, lift your hip up, and allow your ribs to come off the mat to get this mobility through the ribs. And then circle the leg down and around. So we're going to do that 5 times. So you're going to lift that hip, lift the rib, and around. Good. Keep reaching through your foot. Keep the leg long. Pause here, reverse your direction. So out to the side wall, sweep the leg in, lift the hip, and come around for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Reach, reach, reach. Come back to center, bend the knee, lower the leg, slide it out long, bend the other knee, bring it in, extend it up. Keep that pelvis neutral to start. Flex, point the toe. 3 more. Good. Point the toe again, and then lift the hip as you take the leg across the midline, lift the ribs, lengthen the leg down and around for 5. So get that nice reach and stretch through the low back. One more. Pause here and reverse it. So out, sweep it down and around 5 times, lifting that hip still. One more. And then lower that leg down. Good. Bend those knees. Feet are flat. Take the hands back into the side seam of the body. We're going to go to some ab work. So we're going to start with a warm-up called an ab curl. So we're going to just have you lace the hands behind the head. Elbows in slightly, and we're going to lift our head, neck, and shoulders for 5. So rest your head into your hands and try to move from your torso and not your head and neck. So thinking about the sternum drawing down towards the pubic bone as you lift your head. So take a nice inhale. Start to look down at your cheekbones, look down at your sternum, look down at your navel, and then take a nice inhale here and sequence back down with an exhale. And again, inhale, prepare, exhale, lift the head, neck, and shoulders, breathe out. Inhale again, and exhale back down. And continue, we got 3 more. Last one. Keep your head, neck, and shoulders lifted. Draw the legs up into tabletop. Grab your right knee, bring it into the chest, extend your left leg out for single leg stretch. And then the other leg. And keep moving. Breathing. Here's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and last one. Both knees are going to come in, lower your head down, and rest. A little rocking back and forth. We're going to do a double leg stretch where both legs are going to extend out and then come back in. The higher you go with the legs, the easier it is, and the lower you go, the harder it is. So you decide where you need those legs to be. I'm going to start by lifting my head, neck, and shoulders, reaching my arms away, extending my arms and legs out, and then drawing them back in. Keep going. Here's 2. Pull them in. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. Grab the knees and rest. All right, scissors. Nice stretch for the hamstring and the hip flexors. We're going to reach the legs up. Grab a hold of the left knee, behind the knee, and then the ankle if you can. Reach the other leg away. If you want to add the upper body, lift your head, neck, and shoulders and begin bringing those legs towards you and then away from you. Here's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Knees come in. Use those knees to roll it up to seated. So use the weight of the feet. Come all the way up. Good job, guys. All right, facing the front, extending the legs out for a little bit of saw. So sitting up, toes are flexed, back is straight. We're going to take the arms out to a T, do a little shoulder roll. We're going to rotate towards my right pinky toe and reach for the pinky toe with my left hand. Come back to center and reach the other way. Good. Rotate, reach, rotate, and reach. One more time. Good. Come back to center. Taking your left foot, bringing it in towards your groin, and then take your right foot and bring it behind you. Now, if this is difficult, you could always take a little towel. If you feel like your hip doesn't really, you can't get both of your sitting bones down onto the mat, take a towel and put it underneath your left sitting bone or underneath your pelvis, and that actually gives you a little bit more relief so you can get a little bit straighter. Okay, so I'm gonna take the towel out, but if you need it, put it underneath you. Okay, so from this position, we're gonna do a little bit of rotating our nose and our sternum towards our left knee and bringing our forearms down onto the floor. So to this position, and then from here, I just want you to lift the foot and lower the foot. So keeping the knee down and just lifting your foot. Good. And then leaving the foot down, let's lift the knee. Good. And then from here, let's walk it up. And we're gonna do a little rotation here. So I want you to take your fingers to the side, start to rotate your torso, look over your shoulder. As you're looking over your shoulder, lift this hip up and take this right arm and just reach. And then come back to center And then rotate again, lift the hip, reach. One more time, go as far as you can. Good, good. And then from here, we're gonna do a little lift here using our, leading with our pelvis. So I want you to think about, as we come up, you're going to use your pelvis to come up and then lower back down. You could also have your hands here to help you come up and help you sit back down. Let's try a few more. There's a little bit more advanced with the hands here. Sit, lift, lower. Let's do two more. Up and down, up and down. Good. Take your hands behind you. Swing your feet out from underneath you. Side to side. Shake out the hips a little bit. Very good for your internal and external rotation of your hip. And then take your right knee in towards your groin, left leg behind you. And just have a seat into this. See how it feels. Might be a little easier, might be a little more challenging. Again, use your towel if you need it for support underneath your pelvis. And then just start by turning your nose and your sternum towards your right knee. Come down onto your forearms, rest here, and then take that foot and lift it. See if you can lift it up without lifting the knee. Really working on just moving through the joint. Good. And then we're gonna lift just the knee up, leave the foot down. Good. And then we're gonna walk ourselves up, bring our arms out, start to rotate from the belly button up, start to reach the arm, lift the hip, look at your hand, walk it back. Rotate, reach, and we'll do one more. And come back down. And then we're gonna do a little lift. So I have myself here. Again, you can come up, use your hands. That's easier. You can place them here, make it a little harder, but lead with your pelvis. So get that lift from your core. Good. Let's do two more. Last one. And have a seat. Bring the legs out in front, side to side, shake it out. Very good. Okay, we're gonna take it to working our upper body. So, I'm gonna face sideways. We're gonna be doing a reverse plank. So with your hands, you may wanna do a little stretching of your wrists. So I'm just gonna move my arms or my hands a couple different directions, and then you can plant your hand whichever direction feels best for you. I know wrists tend to get tight, so I prefer my hands this way because I have hyperextension in my elbows. So to prevent that hyperextension, I turn them here, and that helps with that. Okay, my feet are lined up with my sits bones, and we're just gonna take this into a lift, lifting the hips up, reaching the knees over the toes, and then coming back down. Let's do four more. So inhale, and then lift it up with an exhale. One more. Perfect. Hold. Now we can challenge ourselves with the legs straight and do 5 more, or we can just stay in that position. It's up to you. So straightening the legs, connecting your inner thighs. We're gonna take it to an inhale, and then everything comes up with an exhale, and then back down. Let's continue for 4 more. 3, And last one. And shake it out. Shake out those wrists, do a little rolling. Stretch it out. Good. All right. Coming on to all fours. Okay. Coming on to all fours, we're going to have our palms wide like stars. So, ground down through the hands. Turn them out slightly. And then line them up with your shoulders. Also, knees and hips are lined up. And we're just going to extend our left leg out. So reach it out there, flex your toes, and just reach back into the heel. So you get a good calf stretch with a little bit of flexing. And then you're going to rock forward and point. Flex, point. You're also feeling a little bit of work through the wrists. Good. And then hold here. And then you're going to point the toe and then lift the leg up. Lower it down. Keeping the pelvis level, keeping the belly lifted. Hold it up and a little windshield wiper, so out to the side and across the midline. And one more. Hold it, lower it down, slide it in, extend the right leg out. Toes are gonna curl under. You're gonna flex the foot and then push off and point the foot. Good. And then pause, float the leg up from the sit bone, keep the pelvis square. Lower the leg down to the floor, lift up. 2, you got it. 3. And then hold the leg, and we're going to take it out to the side, across the midline. We call these windshield wipers. Again, keeping the pelvis very still, just moving your leg, keeping your bellies in and up. 2 more. Last one. Draw the knee in, curl the toes under, and push back onto your arches. If you can, sit on them. If you can't, that's okay. Stay here. We're going to do a little footwork to finish. You guys did an awesome job, but working on your feet health. So I want you to have your heels lined up with your sits bones, feet flexed, and we're gonna sit on our heels, right? And then we're gonna come up using our abdominals. Your feet are gonna go flat, heels go out. We're gonna sit on top of the feet, rock back and forth, come back up, curl the toes under, have a seat, up, feet flat, have a seat. Do a few more. Up, flex, sit, up, flat feet. Good. And then a little crossing one foot over into the arch of the foot. You sit on there, dig into that just slightly, rocking back and forth. Come up, other foot into the other foot of the arch. Have a seat, and then just rock back and forth. Okay, coming up, good, and then just, let's come back to a seated position. We'll extend the legs out wide. We'll do a final stretch here. Take the legs as wide as you can. We're going to take our left palm down to the floor, kind of do a little bit of a side bend here. Take the other arm up behind the head, and then just reach over towards the foot, draw the elbow down towards the floor, look towards the floor, lift up towards the ceiling, down to the floor, up towards the ceiling. One more time. Lift the arm up, reach it over, lower this forearm down, hand behind the head, reach over towards the foot, draw the elbow down towards the floor, up to the ceiling. 2 more times. Last one. Reach it up to the sky. Reach it over. 1 time. 1 more time. Back to center. Bring those feet in. And you guys are done. Good job, everyone. Nice to see you guys. Have a nice day. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining me.